Every week we wrap up Bullseye with a pop culture recommendation from me, your host. It is the outshot. Not a lot of R&B bands made it through disco and came out the other side. There's some of those sort of one-man band situations did, like Rick James and Stevie Wonder. A few vocal groups like the Whispers. A couple of funk bands, Lakeside, Cameo. But a lot of bands bit the dust either when disco hit or when they couldn't find their way out of it. One of the biggest urban acts of the 80s came out of the smoldering rubble of the 70s. From Oklahoma via L.A., named for Greenwood, Archer, and Pine Streets in their hometown, Tulsa. Three brothers named Wilson, Charlie, Ronnie, and Robert. The Gap Band. They were a 12-piece originally. Laid down a couple of go-nowhere funk records in the 70s, no charting singles. But then they found their way to a nightclub owner and producer in L.A. named Lonnie Simmons. Simmons signed them to his label, Total Experience Records. He named it after his club on Crenshaw in L.A. First thing, Simmons dropped 9 guys from the band, everyone except the Wilson brothers. He cleaned up their sound a little bit, and then the 4 of them got to work, making hits. The Gap Band's first record with the new label was called The Gap Band. That was also the name of their last album for the old label, but it didn't matter. This was a new start. They had 4 top 10 R&B hits in the first 3 albums on Total Experience, but it was the next album that was their masterpiece. Gap Band 4 is a shiny diamond. It's as buffed up as anything on the R&B airwaves in 1982. But it's also deeply funky. If Parliament Funkadelic were mostly fueled by weed and psychedelics, this new, shiny 80s funk was undoubtedly cocaine music. Fierce and lush. Light and bouncy on the high end, deep and heavy on the low. Songs like You Dropped a Bomb on Me and Early in the Morning are driven by truly nasty bass work. Robert Wilson's bass guitar and Charlie Wilson's keyboards double-teaming under the melody. It's like a tractor beam of funk. But they also had something else, a secret weapon, Charlie Wilson's voice. It had that light, athletic quality that R&B radio wanted, but it had the richness of a soul singer, too. Charlie Wilson could take his band from a Parliament-style funk track like Talkin' Back
we back at you again. WGAP. Hey, y'all thought we was gone.
to a straight-up light FM jam like Stay With Me.
Stay with me.
To the gorgeous, plain and simple ballad, Seasons No Reason to Change.
Girl, I love you more and more each day. And each and every day I pray that you will stay. Oh, seasons no reason to change.
The record is wall-to-wall bangers. Literally every song on Gap Band 4 hit the radio. Every single one. Now, I want to be clear. It's a very record industry-ish album. A&R'd to within an inch of its life. Every song laser targeted at an audience segment or an open slot in a DJ's playlist. But it works. Because the Gap Band could actually do it all. A great band, A great singer, great songs, and a sound that felt light and funky at the same time. It's like a magic trick.
You light my fire. I feel alive with you, baby. You blow my mind. I'm satisfied.
The band had hits, great hits, after Gap Band 4, but they never got back to that height. In fact, it got so bad that in the 90s, Charlie spent a few years homeless, literally living under a bridge, playing piano once in a while in a thrift store, smoking crack. There's good news, though. He's been clean for quite a while now. He's become a kind of elder statesman in hip-hop. The Gap Band still tours, and Charlie's recorded with Snoop Dogg and Kanye West, who call him Uncle Charlie. It's a beautiful resurgence for a great band. But as wonderful as that is, they'll never top 1982, the year they perfected that magical mix of light and funky, the year they dropped that megaton bomb.
You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me. You dropped the bomb on me.
That's my outshot.